Welcome back to the channel. My name is Jack and we're coming out of the box. If you're new here, well, I've lost over 100 pounds, not once, but twice. And interestingly enough, Facebook will do this thing where it shows you memories and things you posted before. So all those cringy things that you did in the past and you're not really proud of anymore, or the traumatic events you don't want to relive, thanks Facebook for keeping me on my toes. Well, 12 years ago was the first time that I lost 100 pounds. And to be exact, the post itself said I'm 7 pounds away from the big 100. If you had asked me if I was going to do that, I would have laughed at you and told you no, because it wasn't something that was fathomable. If you had asked me if I was going to do that twice, I would have laughed at you and told you to jog on. It's something that I never set out originally to do. My goal with weight loss was just to lose weight, and it became losing weight so that I can stick around and be here longer, just because my family has a history of heart disease and stuff like that. Having an extra 100 pounds in my frame, I was looking at an early grave. But now I love food. I love food and I want to eat all the food, but I don't want to be 400 pounds and eating the food. I want to be able to do the things I love and be around long enough to enjoy those for as long as I can. So, what does this mean? Well, previously we talked about New Year's resolutions and those being either too bold or too specific to really, be helpful. And so, some people are good at setting goals. That's fine. You're like, hey, I want to hit this amount by that time. That didn't work for me. And if you're like me, well, cool, you just run headfirst into the wall and think it's going to turn out fine, and sometimes that wall doesn't come down. What was my goal? I wanted to lose weight. More specifically, I wanted to not go to prison and be a piece of meat for someone because I had a voluptuous chest. I wish I was joking, but that was some logic there, and I don't think I'm going to prison anytime soon. I hope I'm not going to prison anytime soon, but that was the mentality. As we got more into it, it became, well, I just want to live. I want to live to see tomorrow. I want to be able to go to bed at night and not huff and puff as I'm just getting my jammies on and getting under the covers. So, we've mentioned a few things, at least in our step. And so, that big part was intermittent fasting. Reducing how often we were eating, how much we were eating to reduce our calorie intake. And that's perfect because that first struggle is understanding that your diet is going to be super important. Diet, however, doesn't have to be a bad word. It can be as simple as, well, I'm not eating 6 cheeseburgers, now I'm eating 2 cheeseburgers. Well, cool, you just cut out 1,200 calories there and you didn't really have to do much. Are you still probably hungry after? I know I was, but you get to a point where you start to kind of readjust yourself and go, I'm full off that. I'm good off that. Then came exercise. And for me, it was simple starting out. It was just walking. I would walk around a kiosk. It was an 8x10 kiosk that, okay, I'm just going to walk around this and, oh, cool, someone came up to work. I have to help them now. Let me stop what I'm doing. And then back to walking. I'd walk in place. I'd walk around my room. It branched into I'm gonna walk around the block. I'm gonna walk around 2 blocks. I'm gonna walk a mile. I'm gonna walk 2 miles. I'm gonna walk 3 miles. And slowly but surely, I had a 20-pound set of dumbbells, and to this day, that's still really all I use. There's no gym involved. There's not really a huge commitment, and I have one of those Marcy benches. You can get them on Amazon for like $60 if you guys want to sponsor the video and have me do it, promote it for you, by all means. But it was just some home equipment, some dedication, and a lot of hard work. So, with the lifting, how do you do it with 20 pounds? Like, you see all these fitness influencers and they talk about, like, oh yeah, I need to move 400 or 500 pounds in order to be super buff. Well, that's cool. I don't need to do that anymore. Can I deadlift 300-400 pounds? Yeah. Can I bench a fair amount? Probably. I haven't done that in a long time just because I have that fear of tearing a pectoral muscle, but I'm a strong dude. It's not to downplay myself, but you can build muscle with lower weights. It's more about getting to yourself where you're at this point of momentary muscular failure. And so what does that mean? That means I'm going to move this weight, or I'm going to do this motion until my muscle physically cannot produce the force it needs to do it anymore. And so, hell, if you're doing a shoulder press and you have a 20-pound set of weights, and just, okay, I'm going to have my arm out about 45 degrees from my shoulder. I'm going to have the weight nice and taut. I'm going to keep going up, bring it back down, just until the point where I can't get it up anymore. That's momentary muscular failure. And so, hell, if you want to do this with 5 pounds, you can. It's just going to take you more repetitions to get there if you do it, say, compared to a 45-pound weight or a 50-pound weight. And that was, once you mix all three of those elements together, the walking, the fasting, the muscle building, that's when I started to notice the growth. That's when I started to notice the change. And so 2019, I was over 415 pounds. I started there, and I say 415 because the scale we had max at that point. So I could have been more, I could have been far more than that, but that's where I started. At my lowest, this was last year, I was down to 262, and I don't really care about those numbers, those metrics. A lot of it is just coming down to I feel better in what I'm wearing. A lot of activities are easier for me, and now we're going back up just because we're building muscle. But that's fine. I still feel great. So, if you're someone who has struggled with your weight, or you are someone who has dealt with extreme emotional trauma, I'm talking maybe a parent with substance abuse, or a physical parent, or unexpected deaths that just kind of rocked your core, or all those other fun things that make a well-rounded human being, like and subscribe. We'll go over all of those and we'll talk about them further. But as we begin this weight loss adventure and kind of talking about some of the steps that got us there, it's important to understand where we started. And I'm thankful for those little reminders. I'm thankful to be able to look now at things that I've done in my life and go, you know what, that was a win. Because when you look at everything as just, I didn't hit my goal, it can suck. It feels like you're failing, and you won't capitalize on the fact that you're just kicking ass. But when you look at everything as, you know what, hey, I fit into the shirt that I didn't fit in 2 years ago. I can do this and I can do that, and I struggle bust with those before. That's what makes it worth it. So, what I need from you is a comment. Comment with what you need. Do you need me to talk more about intermittent fasting? Do you need me to talk more about like the walking and how I slowly progress myself from there? Do you want me to talk about the exercises? I'll let you know that right now I'm not a doctor. I'm not a licensed professional, but I am someone who has done this twice now, and so I have some information I can share with you, whether it's understanding how to perform a motion in a way that makes sense for you without super hurting yourself. Granted, listen to your body. Your body's going to be the best key to judging anything. Or you just want someone to talk to you about things. It can be something I don't even know about. I will research it, I will look it up, and we'll talk about it and discuss it further. I like to learn. And so, like I said, we're coming out of the box. We're going to bring out all those little things that we never wanted to talk about so we can take away the power from them. And we're going to help people along the way. Step 1 was walking. Step 2, intermittent fasting. Step 3, moving weights. It's simple. It takes dedication though. And I think seeing that post from 12 years ago and remembering all the struggles I went through then, and understanding that 12 years ago I was still at that point where I'm celebrating the wins because I'm someone who regained all that weight plus. It's a never-ending process. You're always a work in progress, and that's at being Wednesday. It's always the right day for a work in progress. Every day is a work in progress. Just be better than the day before. Until next time, my name is Jack. Like and subscribe, and we'll keep just talking about the good stuff. the fun stuff, the stuff we don't want to talk about. So be you, stay weird, and be happy.